Welcome to Smart Conserver.
Whenever you move in that new home or you purchase a piece of land to make a new home, you may get this land with some weeds and even wild grass. And these weeds and wild grass, you really don't need them, but they are growing in its natural ecosystem. So what you do is to just cut it, cut it to get rid of it. You now decide that after cutting it, you want to plant some trees and even some edible crops for your comfort. After those trees have grown, you will find that you can buy a hammock and you can enjoy those trees to the fullest. You may also want to set up a pond nearby where you can place some fish in it, and those fish will just feed periodically. You can also reap the fruits from the trees. And this is another way to enjoy the trees that you have planted. Now, with the trees, you may attract birds because you have those fruit trees. It attract birds in that area. All that I'm speaking about there that you have planted or placed in the area, we're now creating an artificial ecosystem. Please don't believe that an artificial ecosystem is made up of plants, trees, insects, or animals that are not real. An artificial ecosystem is really man made structures where living organisms and other things not associated with living organisms are placed in the same place. And all of these that you place there, they are able to interact with each other for survival. Think of it. Together, these things can perish if humans assist. Meaning, you plant the trees there, that was not the natural place where that tree was. You also attract lizards or even birds. Lizards and birds were not there before. And the fact that you're now adding a water feature, see it? You add something that doesn't have any life to it, but it's placed there so that it interact with the trees and the birds and all that artificial ecosystem will attract. Now, these artificial ecosystems, they were created for different purposes. Let's look at some of these artificial ecosystems and the benefits that they have. An orchid, an orchard, sorry, that's a, that's a artificial ecosystem, and even a farm. These were created or planted by man for agricultural benefit, and this is just to give us food to eat. A park, which is yet another artificial ecosystem, is created for your pleasure. One where you can go and relax. You can even have barbecues, or you just go for recreation. Zoos and aquariums, they are also another artificial ecosystem which were created by men for recreation, conservation, education, and even as a hobby. An artificial ecosystem, if you create it, it is able to repair a damaged natural area. Remember, we started speaking about the space around your new home and nothing was planted there, or the space around the yard that had weeds and that bad grass growing. Then, if you plant an artificial ecosystem there, then it will be able to repair that area that was already damaged. Another thing about the artificial ecosystem that you can create is that this is man made, and wherever you place it will be an unnatural or sometimes it can cause more harm than good. The main advantage of a man-made ecosystem is that it could repair a damaged natural ecosystem, like I told you, or think of it, you introduce certain features in an otherwise less useful ecosystem. So you have these things coming into an area that was just useless. Now, the disadvantage is that these artificial ecosystems, they're really unnatural, and they really help sometimes to really solve a problem that was already there. You really can create an artificial ecosystem at home, and it really has numerous conservation benefits. Let's look at some of them. Now, for one, it gives you food. Now, if you plant some fruit trees or even some quick crops and vegetables, planting in and around your yard can make your home and surroundings cool, especially during the summer months. And think of it, you get the food from it. And that's another conservation method. So you get these food, and when you get the food, it will be cheaper on you from going out there to buy them. Another thing is it helps to keep you cool. You know, I went to a place that sells orchid recently, and as much as orchids are not huge at times as trees, the entire surroundings where these orchids were placed, they were cool. There was a cool temperature when you went through that gate, and there were orchids everywhere. So, you see, just planting in your surroundings, it can be beneficial. Now, I have been telling you from time to time that you need to plant as much as you can. It will make your surroundings cool and even your homes cool. Please, plan when you're planting. Don't just get up and plant in any and all of the spaces that you can find, and then you can't find any place to walk. And plant things that you can benefit from. Please remember that we're speaking about artificial ecosystem, and because the plants that you are placing in and around your surroundings, they really weren't grown there naturally when you plant them. That is what makes it an artificial ecosystem. Another benefit is relaxation. Your artificial ecosystem can have plants and other man-made things such as a fountain or a pond that you can watch and relax your mind. Remember, the artificial ecosystem is what you place in that area that really wasn't there. Think about you and even your family and what you want in that artificial ecosystem. Remember that whatever you place in that ecosystem has to be sustained by you, as where you placed it is not its natural habitat. Sustaining, on the other hand, though, is not a whole lot of work, as it may just mean watering, fertilizing, cleaning the area, and even the ponds or fountain that you place there. Yes, you will get assistance as these plants will need the sun and the rain, but the task really is yours to really keep that ecosystem going. You know, it is said that sometimes when these artificial ecosystems are created, it provides a huge benefit to the environment as well. So let's create this artificial ecosystem wherever we can. It can be just throwing away that fruit seed that you have, and you'll be surprised to watch it grow and bear fruit. And remember, It was not grown there naturally. You were the one who placed it there. So let's consider making those artificial ecosystem. You'll benefit.
You have come to the end of another series. Join us next time for more ways to conserve.